In the pale glow of the moon, a haunted prince wanders the desolate halls of his ancestral castle, burdened by a fate he never chose. A lost love etched in his heart stirs memories that clash with his royal obligations. Torn between duty and desire, he faces a choice that could reshape his destiny forever. Once a vibrant kingdom, now draped in shadows, the prince feels the weight of his lineage. Each step echoes with the whispers of the past, reminding him of Alara, the maiden he lost to the tides of fate. Her laughter still lingers in the air, each sound a haunting reminder of what could have been. As the prince sits in solitude, a flicker of hope ignites within him. He recalls the prophecy that spoke of a love powerful enough to break the chains of duty. With each heartbeat, he wonders if he is destined to reunite with Alara, but the treachery of the throne looms large over his desires. In the heart of the kingdom, tensions rise as rival factions plot against the crown. The prince is reminded of his responsibilities, his duty to protect his people from betrayal. But his heart whispers the name of Alara, urging him to seek her out, to discover if the prophecy holds any truth. Determined, the prince sets off on a journey to find Alara. He traverses through enchanted forests, where trees whisper secrets and shadows dance at the edge of his vision. With every step, he feels the pull of destiny, a force guiding him toward the woman who once filled his world with light. Days turn into nights, and the prince's resolve begins to waver. He encounters mystical creatures that challenge his beliefs and tempt him with visions of power. They offer him an easy path to glory, if only he would abandon his search for love. Yet the memory of Alara remains his guiding star. Finally, in the heart of the forest, he finds an ancient shrine cloaked in mystery and echoes of the past. Here, the spirits of lost loves whisper to him, urging him to embrace his true self. The prince kneels, pouring out his heart, pleading for guidance on his tumultuous journey. As dawn breaks, illuminated by a soft golden light, the prince feels a renewed sense of purpose. The spirits have spoken. Love is a force more potent than duty alone. With newfound determination, he vows to find Alara and reclaim the love that destiny seems to have taken from him. Emerging from the forest, the prince hears whispers of Alara's whereabouts. Her family has been taken captive by a vile sorcerer who seeks to control the realm. A storm brews within him. He must rescue her, not only for love, but to save the kingdom from impending doom. With courage swelling in his chest, the prince gathers allies, warriors who believe in his cause. They set out toward the sorcerer's castle, their hearts united by the hope of freedom and love. Each step is a testament to their resolve, a fight not just for Alara, but for their very souls. As they approach the castle, the prince's heart races with anticipation and dread. He recalls every moment spent with Alara, the warmth of her smile, the sweetness of her laughter. These memories fuel his determination, igniting a fire that drives him forward despite the dangers that lie ahead. Inside the castle, shadows loom large. The sorcerer, a figure draped in darkness, senses their approach. He has been waiting, knowing that love can shatter his power. The prince and his allies prepare for the battle of their lives, the stakes higher than ever before. Love or duty, freedom or despair. The clash of steel rings through the castle as the prince and his allies engage in a fierce battle against the sorcerer's minions. Each swing of his sword is fueled by the memory of Alara, her spirit guiding him through the chaos. With every foe he faces, he grows stronger, more resolute. As the battle rages on, the prince finally confronts the sorcerer. Their eyes lock, and the prince feels the weight of his choices. The sorcerer taunts him, revealing dark secrets about Alara's past, but the prince stands firm, love coursing through his veins, ready to fight not just for her, but for their future. With a heart full of conviction, the prince unleashes his own magic, a manifestation of his love for Alara. The sorcerer, taken aback, realizes that love can wield a power greater than darkness. The energy of their clash sends shockwaves through the castle, a promise of change hanging in the air. In a final surge of power, the prince channels every ounce of his love into a brilliant light, breaking the sorcerer's hold on the castle. The darkness dissipates, revealing Elara trapped in a crystal prison. With one fierce thought, he shatters the crystal, freeing her from her torment. As the castle crumbles around them, Elara and the prince's eyes meet. In that moment, all the pain and longing fades away, replaced by a profound connection. They embrace, and the world around them seems to pause, a sanctuary of love amidst chaos. But their peace is short-lived. As they escape the castle, the remnants of the sorcerer's dark magic linger. The prince knows their love is not yet free. They must confront the remnants of the past before they can build their future together. Back in the kingdom, the people await their prince and his beloved. Rumors of their victory spread like wildfire, rekindling hope within the hearts of the citizens. They gather in the square, eager to celebrate a new dawn, one that promises change and unity. The prince and Elara arrive, hand in hand, greeted by cheers and joyful cries. The atmosphere is electric, filled with love and gratitude. The prince speaks, sharing tales of bravery, love, and destiny, reminding everyone that true power lies not in a crown, but in the bonds we share. As the celebrations begin, the prince feels a sense of peace wash over him. Elara stands by his side, her presence a constant reminder of their journey, a testament to love's enduring strength. Together, they vow to rebuild the kingdom into a place where love can flourish, free from darkness. In the weeks that follow, they work side by side, fostering unity among the people. The prince realizes that true leadership is not about power, but about compassion and understanding. Elara becomes his advisor, her wisdom a guiding light as they navigate the complexities of rule together. Yet, echoes of the sorcerer's darkness still linger. The prince receives word of remnants of the sorcerer's followers plotting in secret. With Elara by his side, he prepares for a new challenge, determined to protect their kingdom and the love they've fought so hard to reclaim. In a meeting with his advisors, the prince speaks passionately about strengthening their defenses. Elara's voice resonates with conviction, emphasizing the need for peace and understanding rather than fear. Together, they inspire hope within the council, a promise of a brighter future for all. The months pass, and the kingdom begins to flourish. Under their leadership, love becomes a guiding principle, uniting people from all walks of life. Festivals celebrating diversity and togetherness spread joy throughout the realm, echoing the prince's dedication to a brighter future. But just as peace settles, a mysterious figure appears, cloaked in shadows. They carry whispers of a greater darkness looming beyond the horizon. The prince and Elara realize that their journey is far from over. They must prepare for whatever challenges lie ahead, together as partners in love and leadership. With resolve in their hearts, the prince and Elara gather their allies, sharing news of the mysterious figure and the threats they might face. The bonds of friendship and unity strengthen, reminding everyone that together they can overcome any darkness that may come their way. As they prepare for the unknown, the prince reflects on the journey that brought them here. The love he shares with Elara has transformed him, teaching him the importance of compassion, bravery, and the strength of the human spirit. Each challenge faced together only deepens their bond. The time comes for a decisive confrontation. The cloaked figure reveals their true identity, a remnant of the sorcerer, seeking revenge. They challenge the prince, insisting that love and duty cannot coexist. The prince stands tall, ready to prove that their love is the most powerful weapon against darkness. As the battle unfolds, the prince and Elara fight side by side, their connection amplifying their strength. They unleash a wave of love that shatters the darkness engulfing the remnant. With each strike, they prove that their bond can withstand any trial, lighting the way forward together. In a final moment of unity, The prince and Ilara channel their love into a blinding light that overwhelms the remnant. The darkness dissipates, leaving the landscape bathed in warmth. They realize that love is not just a feeling, but a force that can reshape their world. With the remnant defeated, peace returns to the kingdom once more. The prince and Alara are celebrated as heroes, but they know that true victory lies not in accolades, but in the love they have nurtured and the bonds they have forged with their people. As they stand together on the balcony of their castle, looking out over their flourishing kingdom, the prince realizes that destiny is not a matter of fate, but of choices made with love. With Alara by his side, he knows they can face whatever the future holds, together as a united force against any darkness. Their journey may be filled with challenges, but the love they share lights their path, a beacon of hope for all. Together, they will continue to foster a kingdom where love conquers fear and where every heart can find its place. Join them on this extraordinary adventure of love and destiny. The haunted prince stood at the edge of the ancient forest, grappling with his feelings. Memories of his lost love echoed in the rustling leaves, urging him to seek her once more. But duty loomed like a dark cloud, threatening to drown his yearning heart in despair. As he ventured deeper into the woods, whispers of forgotten spells enveloped him, hinting at a hidden truth. The air grew thick with magic and memories of love long past. Each step felt like a dance between his heart and his responsibilities. Suddenly, a flicker of light caught his eye, drawing him to an ancient altar. There, he found a relic that once belonged to his lost love, a pendant glowing softly with an ethereal light. It pulsed, resonating with the heartbeat of his longing. The moment he touched the pendant, visions flooded his mind. Images of laughter, stolen glances, and promises made under starlit skies. Each memory ignited a fierce determination to reclaim what was lost, to battle the confines of his royal duty. But shadows lurked in the corners of his vision, remnants of a past filled with betrayal. The prince felt a chill as he recalled the forces that had torn them apart. Could he truly fight against destiny, or was he destined to repeat history's mistakes? Determined to find answers, he sought the wisdom of an ancient seer, known for her insight into the threads of fate. The prince approached her dwelling, a quaint cottage draped in vines, a place where time itself seemed to stand still. The seer welcomed him with knowing eyes, her voice a soft melody that pierced through his turmoil. She spoke of love's true power and the choices that lie ahead, unraveling the threads of fate that had intertwined their destinies. Your heart holds the key to your kingdom's salvation, she warned, but it will demand sacrifices. You must choose between the safety of your realm and the love that beckons you. Her words hung in the air like a haunting echo. Conflicted, the prince left the seer's cottage, her words echoing in his heart. Each step back through the forest was a battle between his destined path and his desire for love. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on his shoulders. As he emerged from the forest, a sudden realization struck him. Love and duty need not be enemies. Perhaps there was a way to intertwine the two, to forge a new destiny that embraced both his heart's desire and his obligations to the kingdom. A plan began to take shape in his mind, one that involved uniting his kingdom and his heart. With renewed determination, he set forth to gather allies who believed in the power of love to change their fate forever. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, the prince returned to his castle. He felt the weight of the past lifting as hope surged within him, a hope that love could indeed conquer all. The prince summoned his council, sharing his vision of a united kingdom built on the foundation of love and acceptance. Doubt flickered in some eyes, but the fire of his convictions sparked a flame of enthusiasm in others. As discussions unfolded, tales of the haunted prince's lost love inspired many. Each story revealed how love had inspired courage in their darkest hours, weaving a tapestry of shared experiences that bound them together. The prince felt a surge of energy, realizing that the path ahead would not be easy. Yet, with every heart that aligned with his vision, he felt the strength of a movement being born, one that would challenge the very fabric of their society. However, whispers of dissent began to emerge, sowing seeds of doubt among the council. Those loyal to tradition feared the changes the prince proposed, believing it would unravel the kingdom's age-old customs. Facing opposition, the prince stood firm, his heart resolute. He reminded them that true strength lies in unity and love, urging them to embrace a future where every heart is valued, regardless of the chains of the past. In that moment, he recalled the pendant's glow, how it symbolized the bond he shared with his lost love. It was a reminder that love, even when lost, could guide them toward a brighter tomorrow. Gradually, the hearts of the council began to soften. The prince's vision resonated deeply, and the stories of love began to heal old wounds, igniting sparks of hope amidst the fears of change. Finally, after hours of debate, a tentative agreement was reached. The prince would lead a festival of love, a day to celebrate unity, where the kingdom would come together to break free from the chains of the past. As the day of the festival approached, excitement bubbled within the kingdom. The prince felt the weight of his heart lift as he envisioned a celebration filled with laughter, music, and the joy of connection among his people. But deep within, the prince harbored fears of what the day might reveal. Would his lost love return to him, or would the festival serve as a painful reminder of what could never be? On the eve of the festival, he found himself wandering through the quiet streets, lost in thought. The air was thick with anticipation, yet the silence echoed the void left by his unfulfilled love. As he prepared to return to the castle, a familiar melody drifted through the air, lingering like a ghost from the past. It was the song they had once danced to under the stars, and it tugged at his heart like an unbroken thread. Following the melody, he discovered a hidden glade where the villagers had gathered, singing and dancing in the moonlight. The unity of their joy warmed his heart, reminding him of the love that bound them all together. In that moment, the prince realized that love was not only about possession, it was also about connection, community, and shared joy. His heart swelled with hope for the festival ahead, igniting a renewed sense of purpose. As dawn broke on the day of the festival, the kingdom blossomed with colors and life. The prince stood at the castle balcony, looking down at the vibrant celebration unfolding below, his heart racing with anticipation. The festival began with laughter and music, each note resonating with the spirit of love that the prince had envisioned. It echoed through the streets, drawing everyone together in a tapestry of joy and unity. As he descended to join the festivities, the prince felt a stirring in the air, a sense that something extraordinary was about to happen. His heart raced at the thought of seeing his lost love once more amid the celebration. The crowd erupted in cheers as he stepped into the sunlight, their joy filling the air. It was a moment of unity, a testament to the power of love that could transcend even the greatest of trials. As the festivities continued, the prince's heart remained hopeful. The festival was more than just a celebration. It was a turning point in his journey, a bridge between the life he once knew and the love that might yet come to be. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the festival that still buzzed with life. Amidst the laughter and music, the prince felt a heavy weight upon his chest, the thrill of love tangled with the chains of duty. It was here, surrounded by joy, that he realized the battle within him had only just begun. He spotted her, a fleeting figure wrapped in a scarlet dress, dancing gracefully between the crowds. Memories flooded his mind, each twirl a reminder of the bond they once shared, and the promise of what could be. The prince's heart raced, whispering desires he had long buried beneath his royal obligations. As if sensing his gaze, she turned, their eyes locking for a brief moment. In that fleeting connection, time stood still, and the world around them faded into oblivion. Yet, the prince felt the pull of his responsibilities, a dark shadow looming over their shared light. Determined to speak with her, he pushed through the crowd, each step energizing his resolve. But just as he was about to reach her, a stern voice echoed through the air, his father's advisor reminding him of the duties that awaited him. The prince hesitated, torn between two worlds. In a moment of hesitation, the woman turned away, disappearing into the throngs of laughter and revelry. The prince's heart sank. It felt as if the festival's joy had been ripped away, leaving a hollow ache in its place. He could not let her slip away again, not without a fight. Just then, an unexpected gust of wind whirled around him, carrying with it the sweet scent of roses. The prince paused, recognizing it as a sign, the very fragrance that reminded him of their stolen moments under the moonlight. Was it destiny calling him back to her? His heart racing, the prince followed the scent, weaving through the crowd with newfound purpose. He could feel their bond, a tether of fate pulling him closer to her. But the advisor's warning echoed in his mind, reminding him of the weight of his title, the crown he could not escape. Finally, he reached a quieter part of the garden, illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns. It was there, beneath a willow tree, that he found her, lost in thought. The prince's breath caught. She was even more beautiful in this serene setting, yet the weight of their past hung heavily between them. "You came," she whispered, her voice breaking the silence like a fragile melody. The prince stepped closer, every inch forward feeling monumental. He yearned to say the words trapped in his heart, to convey the love that had endured despite distance and duty. But fear paralyzed him. "I had to find you," he finally uttered, his voice steady yet filled with unspoken emotions. The moment felt fragile, suspended in time, and he was acutely aware of how every word mattered. She searched his eyes, seeking the truth behind his declaration, her own heart racing. "But what does it mean? Is it just the festival's magic?" she questioned, her vulnerability laid bare. The prince felt a pang of sorrow. Her doubts mirrored his own. He wanted to reassure her, to declare that their love was not a fleeting moment, but a chance at a new destiny. Taking a deep breath, he stepped closer, closing the gap between them. "It's not just tonight. It's everything we were, everything we could be. You're my lost love, and I cannot let duty dictate my heart any longer," he declared, vulnerability pouring from his heart. As his words hung in the air, the garden seemed to hold its breath, the lanterns flickering in anticipation. The woman's eyes widened, reflecting hope and fear intertwined. It was a pivotal moment, one that could change everything, if only he had the courage to proceed. But then, the haunting sound of distant horns broke their reverie, a reminder of his obligations, of the royal duties awaiting him. The weight of expectation crashed down, pulling him back to reality. Could he abandon everything for a love that might lead to ruin? The woman stepped back slightly, sensing his turmoil. "You have a choice to make, my prince. Will you follow your heart, or will you let duty dictate your path?" Her voice was calm, yet it trembled with the weight of her own hopes and fears, echoing his internal battle. A silence enveloped them, thick with unspoken words and emotions. The prince searched his heart. The answer was there, yet shrouded in the fear of consequence. He could feel the world around them fading, leaving only the two of them suspended in this moment of decision. Finally, he spoke, his voice barely above a whisper. "I want to choose you. I want to fight for us, no matter the outcome." The declaration felt liberating, yet terrifying, the prince's heart racing as he laid his truth bare, ready to embrace the unknown. Her face broke into a radiant smile, illuminating the shadows that had lingered between them. It was a moment of pure magic, a promise that their love could withstand the trials of destiny. But even as joy blossomed, the prince felt the weight of his decision loom over them. Yet from the depths of his heart, a voice whispered warnings of betrayal and loss. The prince knew the kingdom relied on him, the future of his family tied to traditions he was now willing to defy. Would love be enough to conquer the legacy that bound him so tightly? The festival continued around them, a cacophony of laughter and joy that felt distant now. In that moment, the prince realized that the true battle lay not just in his heart, but in the hearts of those he loved. Would they understand his choice, or would they see it as a betrayal? As if sensing his distress, the woman stepped closer, her hand reaching out to touch his. We will face this together, no matter what comes our way. Our love is worth fighting for, my prince. Her words felt like a balm, soothing his troubled heart and igniting his resolve once more. With her hand in his, he felt a surge of courage. This was no longer just about him. This was a shared destiny, a union of their hearts that could defy the odds. The certainty of their love filled him with hope, igniting a fire within that would not be quenched easily. Yet, even as they stood together, the sounds of the festival began to fade. The reality of their choices loomed before them like an approaching storm, threatening to unravel the peace they had just found. The prince knew that their next steps would be crucial. "We should talk to my father," the prince suggested, his voice steady yet filled with trepidation. The woman nodded, understanding the gravity of the moment. They needed to confront the reality of their love and the consequences that would inevitably follow. It was time to step into the light, no matter how daunting the truth may be. As they made their way back through the festival, the prince felt a mix of emotions. Excitement, intertwined with fear, gripped him tightly. They approached the grand palace, the imposing structure looming like a fortress, standing as a testament to the power of tradition and duty. Upon reaching the palace doors, the prince paused, his heart racing. This was it, the moment that could change everything. He turned to the woman, their eyes locking in silent understanding. They were ready to face whatever came next, united in their choice. With a deep breath, the prince pushed the doors open, revealing the grand hall filled with courtiers and advisors. The air was thick with anticipation, and he felt the weight of their stares upon him. This was the moment he had been dreading and anticipating all at once. His father, the king, stood at the center, an imposing figure radiating authority. The prince's heart sank at the sight of him, knowing the storm that would soon brew. He had to speak, to declare their love before the throne of tradition and expectation. Taking a step forward, the prince cleared his throat, all eyes now on him. "Father, I have something important to share. It concerns my heart and my future." He could feel the tension escalate, the murmurs of the courtiers echoing around him like a tempest brewing. The king raised an eyebrow, his expression a mixture of curiosity and caution. "What is it, my son? Speak your mind," he commanded, his tone leaving no room for hesitation. The prince felt the weight of his title pressed down harder. This was it, the moment of truth. Summoning all his courage, the prince met his father's gaze. He could not falter now. "I have found love, a love that transcends duty and tradition. I wish to be with her, to build a future together, despite the challenges we may face." His voice rang clear, each word resonating with the weight of his conviction. A hush fell over the hall, the courtiers gasping in shock. The king's expression hardened, eyes narrowing as he processed his son's declaration. "And who is this woman that dares to claim your heart?" he demanded, his voice low and menacing, echoing through the tension-filled room. The prince took a deep breath, feeling the weight of every eye upon him. "She is a woman of grace and strength, one who understands my heart. Her name is—" He hesitated, unsure of how the revelation would be received. The moment stretched into an eternity, amplifying the stakes of his confession. Before he could continue, the king interrupted, his voice booming. "You will not speak her name. This is madness. You are a prince, and you have responsibilities that cannot be cast aside for a fleeting emotion." His outrage echoed, shaking the foundations of the hall. The prince felt a surge of defiance rise within him, igniting a fire he thought long extinguished. "I refuse to let duty dictate my happiness any longer." Love is not a fleeting emotion. It is a force that can change destinies. His words rang with conviction, challenging the very foundation of his upbringing. The king's face contorted in disbelief, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his features. The courtiers exchanged nervous glances, the atmosphere thick with tension. The prince could feel the weight of centuries of tradition bearing down, yet his heart surged with a newfound courage. You would risk everything for her? Your title? Your legacy? The king challenged, his voice low and dangerous. The prince stepped forward, fueled by his love and determination. Yes, I would risk it all for a life filled with love and authenticity. Each declaration felt like a battle cry for his heart. The room fell silent, the tension hanging in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. The king's brow furrowed, processing the weight of his son's words. In that moment, it was clear that this battle would determine the fate of the prince's heart and the kingdom's future. Finally, the king spoke, his voice steady yet laden with emotion. If you choose her, you must be prepared to face the consequences. Love is not without its sacrifices, and there will be trials ahead that you cannot foresee. The warning hung heavily in the air, a solemn reminder of the path they were choosing. The prince nodded, understanding the gravity of his father's words. I am willing to face whatever comes our way. Love is worth the fight, and I will not shy away from the sacrifices it demands. His resolve strengthened. He felt ready to embrace the challenges of their shared destiny. The king's expression softened slightly, a mix of pride and concern washing over him. Very well, my son. But know this, your choice will affect not only you, but the entire kingdom. You will need to lead with wisdom and compassion. Are you ready for that burden? The prince felt a swell of determination rise within him. I am more than ready, father. I will fight for our love and the kingdom's future. Together, we can create a new legacy, one built on love and understanding, not just duty and obligation. His words echoed through the hall, resonating with hope. The king regarded his son with newfound respect, the weight of his decision settling upon him. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges and obstacles. Yet, in this moment, he understood that love could indeed reshape destinies, even in the face of tradition. If love is what you truly want, then I will not stand in your way. But remember, my son, your journey has just begun. Embrace it with an open heart and a clear mind. The king advised, his tone softer now, a hint of support emerging. Relief washed over the prince, a wave of gratitude filling him as he turned to the woman beside him. She beamed with joy, her eyes sparkling with the promise of a future they could share. Together, they had taken the first step toward rewriting their destinies, hand in hand. As they stood united, the courtiers erupted into whispers, some filled with disbelief, others with cautious optimism. The festival outside continued to pulse with life, mirroring the new beginnings blossoming within the grand hall. Change was upon them, and it felt electric. With a sense of purpose, the prince turned to address the gathered crowd. Together, we will forge a new path for our kingdom, one where love guides our decisions and compassion reigns supreme. Let this festival be a celebration of not just tradition, but of the love that binds us all. His voice rang out, clear and strong. The crowd erupted in applause, a wave of support washing over the prince and the woman. Their hearts soared, buoyed by the realization that they were not alone in their fight. Together, they had ignited a fire of hope that would not be easily extinguished. Yet, amid the celebration, the prince felt a lingering sense of foreboding. Change would come, and with it, challenges that would test their resolve. He turned to the woman, their hands still intertwined, and whispered, "We must be ready for whatever lies ahead. Together, we can face anything." As the festival continued into the night, the couple felt a sense of unity burgeoning between them. They had made their choice, and now they would face the consequences together. With love as their guiding light, they stepped forward into an uncertain future. ready to embrace the adventure that awaited. Underneath the stars, the prince and the woman shared quiet moments of laughter and whispers, allowing themselves to dream of all that could be. In those fleeting instances, they found solace from the weight of their choices, a reminder that love could be a sanctuary amidst chaos. But as the night progressed, shadows crept closer, reminders of the obstacles that lay ahead. The prince's thoughts drifted to the kingdom and the challenges of uniting it under the banner of love. The balance between duty and desire was delicate, and he knew they had to tread carefully. As the last of the festival lights dimmed, the prince and woman made their way homeward, hand in hand. Each step felt like a declaration, a promise that they would navigate the trials together. Their love would be their compass, guiding them through the tumultuous journey ahead. Upon their arrival at the castle, they were met with the cold reality of royal life. The halls echoed with silence, a stark contrast to the vibrant energy of the festival. The prince felt the weight of expectation settle back onto his shoulders, a reminder of the legacy he was poised to change. In the days that followed, the prince devoted himself to understanding the kingdom's needs. He met with advisors, listened to the people's concerns, and strategized how to integrate love into the fabric of tradition. But his heart remained heavy, thinking of what lay ahead for him and the woman he loved. Meanwhile, the woman found herself navigating her own challenges, stepping into her role as the prince's partner. She faced skepticism from the court and whispers of doubt, but her resolve only grew stronger. She aimed to prove that love could indeed change hearts and minds. One evening, they found a moment of respite together in the castle's gardens, the moon casting a gentle glow upon them. "We must show them that love can coexist with duty," she said, her voice a soothing balm to his worries. The prince nodded, feeling the strength of her belief. Inspired by her words, the prince devised a plan to host a grand council, inviting representatives from all corners of the kingdom. It would be a bold move, a chance to unify the kingdom under the values of love and compassion, paving the way for a new era. As the day of the council approached, excitement mingled with apprehension. The couple knew that not all would be in favor of their vision. The risk of dissent loomed large, and they prepared themselves mentally for the challenges ahead, leaning on each other's strength. On the day of the council, the castle buzzed with energy as representatives from all regions gathered. The prince stood at the front, flanked by the woman, their united front a symbol of hope. As he looked over the crowd, he could feel the weight of expectation resting heavily on his shoulders. Clearing his throat, the prince began. "Welcome all. Today we gather not just as rulers and subjects, but as a community bound by love and a shared future. It is time to listen to one another, to embrace the love that can unite us beyond our differences." His voice carried over the crowd, igniting a spark of enthusiasm. The crowd erupted into murmurs of agreement, some faces lighting up with hope. Yet, among them, there were skeptics, those who were wary of change. The prince noticed their frowns and furrowed brows, but he refused to be deterred. He would fight for their love and the future they envisioned together. As he spoke of the power of unity and love, he could see the hearts of some beginning to soften. The warmth of his words flowed through the room, a gentle reminder that love was a force of nature. The prince felt a swell of hope, believing they could forge a new legacy together. Yet, just as the atmosphere seemed to shift, a voice rose from the back, a challenge to his ideals. A representative stood, shaking with anger. "Your love does not belong in matters of the state. Duty must come first, and we cannot afford to indulge in such fantasies." The tension thickened like storm clouds gathering. The prince felt a rush of emotions, fear, anger, and determination clashing within him. He knew this was a pivotal moment, one that would test not only his resolve, but the very foundation of the love he was fighting for. With the woman at his side, he prepared to defend their vision with everything he had.